Hi folks, so I just want to talk about the Claude AI rate exceeded error. Now, if you think about it, then yeah, it's pretty much clear from the name itself, right? That this error will occur when you exceed usage quotas, such as sending too many messages in a short time, using long prompts, or hitting some kind of a daily limit. But, what is really bizarre is that people, this is this thread, as you can see, anyone else getting a rate exceeded message. And if I go up, I was working on Claude AI earlier, but now I am getting a rate exceeded message on a white page. And just wait till I scroll down here. It's service related. I'm on a 20x max plan. This is one of their highest tiers. I think this is the highest tier. I have never seen a rate message and I used it today, but far less than average. It's not a limits thing. The whole site is gone. Just rate exceeded. 2 words in the upper left. I can't even log in. There it is again. Was probably local if you didn't get it. Oh, I was getting the rate exceeded thing. Then I got a login page. So I logged in, then I got rate exceeded again. So it makes me think it's just a service outage or bug. Plus the Claude app on my phone was talking to me, but Claude.ai on the browser was rate exceeded. So just keep this in mind that even if you haven't used Claude, and then this is another thread which says the same thing, rate exceeded. I haven't used it today. Is anyone else getting a rate exceeded error? I used it for maybe 5 questions yesterday that had almost no tokens. I probably used 10k max. I haven't used it at all today and is telling me that the rate has been exceeded. So there is a chance that this is a service outage. Now what you can do to check whether there is a service outage is that you can visit this link. I will include this in the description, status.claude.com, and there you can see currently they have some kind of an issue with the Claude desktop app. So if there is an issue, then yes, you will see that mentioned here. You will see what's the update, and they will also add timestamps so you can see if they have made any progress. Okay, so and from in here there are graphs that you can see. Okay, that Claude.ai was working correctly, platform.claude.com, the Claude API, Claude Code, etc., Claude for government, etc. So they have all these statuses here. If there is an issue, then just ensure you check out this page. Or another option that you have is that if you use Reddit more, then just simply go to the Claude AI subreddit. And if there are any issues, then just ensure you sort by new. And if there are any issues, you will see posts on this subreddit. And there is also another subreddit which is called as r/anthropic. So this is the Anthropic subreddit, and here too you can just go ahead and sort by new. Just ensure you do that. I'll include all the links down below, and the default link will have the new parameter added at the end, so it will sort posts by new by default if you use the links in the description. Okay. But what is the real cause of the error? And well, it's pretty self-explanatory here. Okay, it is either what can happen is that there is high volume of speed. You are sending multiple prompts in rapid succession. There is large context. You are using long documents or code bases which consumes high token counts. Session limits. Free users are restricted to roughly 5 to 10 sessions per day. Not per day rather. It's more of an, I think, a 2 or 3 hour limit that if you hit that, then it will kind of cap you. Then concurrent requests, running multiple API sessions simultaneously. And what are the solutions? Wait and retry. The error usually resolves itself within a couple of hours. Reduce the prompt length. Break down long questions into smaller concise prompts. Start new conversations. Sometimes starting a fresh chat helps reset the session-based limits. You might have noticed the session-based limits that we have. And if you use Claude.ai, then it will kind of nudge you as well when you are getting closer to a limit. It will say, hey, it's better if you start a new chat if you want to avoid hitting your limits. And then if you just want, you can just, if you're using an ID like Cursor, try switching between Opus, Sonnet or Claude. Okay. Now, another thing that I did want to tell you is that Claude has, if you're getting this error in the API or maybe in the subscription tiers that you have, then at least for the API, Claude has certain usage limits that you will see. Okay. So firstly, they have these usage tiers based on based on the amount that you have spent. So tier 1, if you have purchased $5 worth of credits, then you are in the first tier, and then subsequently you have tier 2, 3 or 4, etc, etc. Okay, and they have this rate limit for each particular tier. So these are the maximum requests that you can send per minute, and we are just looking at tier 1 here. So we have got this limit for Sonnet 4.x models. You can send 50 requests per minute, and then there is also a limit on the maximum input tokens per minute, and there is also a cap on the maximum output tokens per minute. And yes, of course, if you sort of go to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, these limits will increase a lot. And then yes, if you want higher limits, and then yes, it's an enterprise use case, and you can contact the Claude team. Okay, but just keep in mind that if you're getting this error in the API, and I think that would be a 429 error, then in that case the issue might be the tier that you're on. Okay. And yes, a quick workaround for that would be to use something like OpenRouter, right? Instead of maybe just using Claude directly, OpenRouter processes requests in bulk. So maybe that way you won't hit the error. But OpenRouter then has its own set of limits. So that is something else entirely. Okay. But a couple of other fixes that people have noticed, and let's just go through this blog article as well, just really quickly. Claude enforces rate limits to ensure fair usage and maintains service stability. These limits include, and we have seen how requests per minute, input tokens per minute, output tokens per minute. Okay, so when you exceed any of these thresholds, Claude returns a 429 like we were talking about, or similar rate limit exceeded message. Also, some higher level quotas like daily or weekly usage may also apply depending on your subscription or plan. Okay, and yeah, these limits are not very clear. We will just take a look at this thread in a bit as well, where a guy reverse engineered Claude's message limits, and here's what actually worked. So we'll just take a look at this. But yes, if you have a subscription tier, then this will happen. And another thing worth pointing out here is that they mention in the docs here that if I go up, then yes, it will give you a return after header as well, indicating how long to wait. So if you try after that time, then this error will get resolved. So Claude does give you that in response as well. So maybe this is something you can take a look at. And yes, then you will get this request. Claude has rejected your request with error 429. Here are the possible reasons, etc., etc., and then it will list the reasons. But yeah, like we saw, the reasons can include that you are sending a burst of requests, sending many requests in a short amount of time, large token usage, long prompts or asking for long responses, push up token usage, more easily hitting the input or output token limits. Then you are using multiple models heavily. If your app or workflow uses multiple Claude models at once, each model's limits count separately. And then subscription tier limitations are there, and it can be a system level or a server issue as well. Okay, so like we saw, many people were just randomly getting this rate limit exceeded error, even when they hadn't clearly exceeded the usage limit. It was a service outage. So just keep that in mind. Now let's get to this. This is the most exciting thing that I was excited to tell you about. So this thread is only 2 months old, by the way, and I'm recording this on 10th of March 2026. So what this guy says is that, and I'll link everything down below, okay, so you don't have to worry about that. But let's just read through this. I reverse engineered Claude's message limits. Here's what actually worked for me. I have been using Claude Pro pretty heavily for over 6 months and kept hitting the 40 to 100 message cap mid-project. Got frustrated enough to actually dig into the token system and how it works. Turns out most of us are wasting 70% of our message quota without realizing it. The problem is that long conversation threads don't eat up your message count. They exponentially waste tokens. A 50 message thread uses 5x more processing power than 5-10 message chats because Claude rereads the entire history every single time. So this is one thing that is really important. Then he adds on, Here's what actually moves the needle. Start fresh chats at 15 to 20 messages. And this is something that Claude will also tell you to do. 150 message thread equals full capacity use. 510 message chats is equal to 5x capacity gained. The work output is the same, but you just unlocked 5x more sessions before hitting limits. So this is very important. Then use meta prompts to compress context. At the end of each session, ask Claude, summarize our discussion in 200 words formatted as key decisions made, code patterns established, next steps identified, format as a system prompt for my next chat. Paste that summary into your next fresh chat. So if you're about to hit a limit, just send it this and then just copy the output and then send that in a new chat. You just compressed 5,000 tokens to 300 tokens, 16x compression. Full context is 6% of the cost. Then stop at 7 messages remaining. When you see 7 messages left, or this really depends on the plan that you're on. Maybe you will see this message earlier or just that nudge from Claude. When you see 7 messages left, stop starting new complex tasks. Use those final messages for summaries only. Then start fresh in a new chat. Starting a new debugging session with 7 messages left will essentially guarantee that you will guaranteed limit hit mid solution. So yeah, but what are the results after implementing these? Before, he could send 40 to 60 messages per day. There was constant limit frustration, but after applying these techniques, 150 to 200 effective messages per day. Rarely hits caps. I'm working on documenting this system with copy paste templates. Happy to share. I didn't want to spam the group. Feel free to DM me. Okay. Has anyone used similar techniques like this? So yeah, and yeah, this got a bunch of upvotes. You can see almost we got 456 upvotes, and yeah, there were a lot of things, and then some people shared a couple of other things as well. So yeah, let's go through this TLDR quickly as well. However, the thread is full of refinements and correction to OP's manual method. So the biggest takeaway is use the built-in compact command instead. Instead of manually asking for a summary and copy pasting it into a new chat, just use the /compact command. Claude will summarize the conversation and clear the context for you, achieving the same goal with way less effort. You can also use clear to start completely afresh. A key correlation. Summarizing is not the same as having full context. Yes, this is very important. Several users pointed out that this is a form of lossy compression. You will lose nuance and specific details, which can cause Claude to lose the plot on very complex or long-running projects. For the true power users, the conversation evolved to more advanced tools. People are recommending frameworks like superpowers and beads for managing complex multi-session coding projects, which are built on the same principle of context management. Other tidbits include the limits are also affected by dynamic server-side throttling, like we have seen, and responding quickly within 5 to 10 messages can also keep your chat in the cache, reducing token usage. Also, for pedants, the token usage growth is quadratic, not exponential. So yeah, manage your context, use compact, and don't be a jerk to people sharing helpful tips. Okay, so yeah, you can just go through this Reddit thread. I will link it down below. This has some helpful insights. But yeah, that's essentially it, right? Like you might run into this error even when there is a service outage. So yeah, but if you do get this error, then the first thought would be, I might have done something wrong. But actually, there might have been a service outage instead. And I told you how you can just go to the Claude status page, check that, go to Reddit, check there. You can also use something like down detector to see if there is any outage. You can go to X, people search for Claude, then just maybe, sort by latest results, etc. So a lot of ways to go about it. But yes, if you do get this error genuinely, then yes, there are ways to sort of troubleshoot it, make your way around it. I'll link this thread down below. Give it a thorough read, and hopefully that will resolve the issues you are having. And yeah, if you are using the API, then maybe just upgrade the tier, and that should resolve the error for you. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. If that was the case, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, etc., etc. I keep putting out helpful videos like this, so maybe you might come across any other future video in your feed if you subscribe, and that might prove to be helpful for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and that also helps the YouTube algo, it lets it know that you found my content helpful, and it will help that in spreading and reaching out to more users. Okay, so that's about it. Have a great lovely day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.